Hello people from YouTube. As you can see, we are using some masking tape there in the upper part of the canvas to give us kind of a straight line, a pretty straight horizon line that we are going to use. Right now I'm spreading some cadmium yellow pretty carefully, pretty softly, leaving that bright spot in the middle, which is where it's supposed to be the sun. We're not actually painting the sun, just the surrounding area of the light of the sun. Okay, this color here is alizarin pink. That's the name it has. Pretty strange, but that's the name. I suppose you can use two alizarin crimson or crimson per se. I'm just changing the magenta this time to have some variety in the colors, and you can see the kind of mix we get with these two colors. Okay, a little bit more here. Remember that we start always with a wet canvas with medium. This is all pretty wet, all the canvas. Okay, pretty easy, just spread your color around, but be careful with the middle part. You need that bright spot there. Very little amount of paint here, and I'm letting it mix with the yellow underneath it. Okay, pretty easily, pretty soft touch. Don't worry, you can work with pretty heavy loads of paint if you want. You just have to be careful with the edges. Okay, pay attention, I'm using one brush for my warm colors, and I'm going to change to another brush for my cool colors, so they don't get that muddy, that neutralized. Okay, this is pure ultramarine blue, and I'm spraying it kind of to the middle of the alizarin pink. Pretty careful to not touch the yellows nor the oranges. Okay, because it's going to neutralize itself. A little bit of the alizarin pink here over the blue. Let it mix a little bit more. You can see we're starting to get a pretty cool violets, purple, in fact a variety of those. And this came a little bit too dark for my taste, for what I want to do here. So I'm going to add some white here to try to lighten the color. Let me try to soften it a little bit more. Let me try a little bit more white, but if this doesn't work, we're going to use the wipe technique. We're going to use some paper towel to remove some paint. Just let me try it, but I suppose it won't work because the colors underneath that are super dark colors. So we will need an insane amount of white to lighten them. No, it's not working, but you don't worry. You don't worry, we will fix it. I'm trying here to blend the edges to see how it would look, but I'm pulling too much paint because I have a lot of paint there. So no, it seems that this won't work, but we will fix it, you don't worry, and we will have a pretty kind of pastel tone there. It looks cool too, but I'm going to change it because it's too dark for what I want in this painting. I'm just pulling a little bit of that color here on the horizon. I'm using the masking tape as a ruler to get a straight line. Okay, let me try to soften this, but no, I'm going to go with the paper towel and remove some of the paint. Just rub it around, get a clean side of the paper and rub it more, and you're going to remove the excess of paint that you have there. It's pretty much what the same thing you do when you are drawing with pencils. With your pencils, pretty much the same thing. So okay, it's getting cooler look, some more pastel, so somewhat more close to what I had in mind at the beginning. Yeah, this will work, you don't worry. You remember to fold your piece of paper and get a clean side on each pass, okay? Otherwise you are just going to be moving the paint around instead of removing it. I just picked a little bit of blue with that kind of lavender tone, and I'm painting here just the subtle indications of a mountain line back there, very far away. Very cool. Just darkening this a little bit more. This is looking pretty cool. Let's remove the masking tape. As you can see, it's pretty useful if you don't trust yourself in getting a super straight line. Okay, and I pick my brush for my warm colors, and I'm spreading straight yellow here. Okay, yellow here, pretty cool. A little bit more here. This is where the sun is going to hit the water. This is going to be a sea, people, a sea with waves. Yeah, so here we're going to spread a little bit of a kind of an intense yellow to show there, to show us where the sun is bouncing pretty hard. Okay, pretty hard. Good. Let me get a little bit of blue, and I'm lightening it with a little bit of titanium white. Add a touch of the alizarin here, alizarin pink. Funny color, not very common, right? But looks cool. Spread it around. Be careful here. We're starting to leave some kind of white spots, some lines of light bouncing there on the water. Okay, it's just not a flat color. We want those variations. We want variety in tones. I'm picking here more blue. You can see the difference, right, with that lavender here. It's darker compared to the lavender. Darker, so we can use this kind of for shadowing stuff to shape our waves. Be careful with the horizon line. Okay? Don't kill it. Pretty cool. I'm just spraying touches of shadows here and there. Be careful with the yellow and the blue because it's going to get green, okay? We want just a little bit of that green, but not that much. Pretty cool. Okay, spread a little bit of those colors over this white part, just a little bit. This is going to be our sand, kind of the beach. It won't show much, but it's cool to have a kind of a base there, kind of a grounding. To land our waves. Okay, looks nice, kind of a wet sand already. Let me spread here a little bit more. And we are doing good. You pick a fan brush, regular fan brush, people, pure titanium white, and if you want, add a touch of yellow, just a touch, a little bit. And let's start with these round motions, lot of paint on my brush and pushing it and it's starting to mix but also to bounce because it's a super bright color, the white. And let's make this kind of foamy shape of the edge of the wave already breaking up in the air. Okay, let's draw the shape in the back. This is a wave in the back, and some indications far back. Okay, the more far we go in our painting, things have to be smaller. Pay attention to that. That's why this wave all the way in the front is super thick, super big compared to those in the background. Okay, another rule of perspective to help us to give that illusion of depth. Very cool. Let me draw some more light lines here. Okay, starting to look pretty wavy, the way we want it. Nice. We have a lot of paint on the canvas. It feels like butter. It's cool, but be careful because the colors can get super muddy super easily. Okay, take care of your yellow. We want some of that there. We're looking for these variations of colors and a little bit of the mixes they give us on the edges. Okay, a bit of green, gray, a little bit of brown. Starting to get all of those there. Pretty cool. Some more light here. Good. Okay, let me pull this kind of foamy shapes. We don't know what's happening there, but we will. Here I just picked a little bit of my lavender tone and I'm drawing this shade underneath the foam of the wave. To help us to give them shape, a more identifiable shape. Pretty cool. Okay, a little bit more of the shade, and let's paint here the light of the wave. Okay, a little bit of the water. Let's make it flow. I'm using here a kind of a dry brush. It has paint but very little, so it's allowing me to have those lines of paint showing through the darker colors that we had there. Okay, shape your water. Remember, it's not just that flat mass of blue. It has a lot of movement on this painting. Okay, a little bit of that here too. Pretty cool. The indications of the water moving, and pretty easy. You can work this a lot. Okay, a lot, and go in detail as much as you want, but just look how much we got with one simple stroke of the brush. Okay, let me lighten this a little bit more. Oops. Okay, let's continue with the shadowing beneath this foam. I need to give it kind of a shape, and at the same time I'm pulling some lines of that color to the wave. Okay, to the body of the wave. Remember, we're shaping here the foam, but also the whole of the wave. Pretty nice. Some lines. Pretty small brush. Pretty small brush. We need those lines, not that thick lines. Same brush, but I picked ultramarine blue to darken that shadow and to give us variety on the shadow, okay? On the same shadowing. Pretty foamy, looking cool. And I think the combination of these colors looks pretty awesome, pretty pastel-y, but at the same time pretty intense. I don't know how to describe it. Probably it's because of the feeling of the sensation that this is a sunset, kind of, but pretty light, with pretty light colors. Just moving around some of the dark paint here. I'm doing the same thing as we did with the foreground wave. I'm doing that with this, kind of shaping the water, where it's moving, where it's coming from. Cool. Remember that we can fix mistakes by removing paint or by painting over it, okay? Whenever it's possible. So don't worry if you get a super dark marks that you didn't want there. Try to use them in your favor, not against you. Nice, let me pull some of these lines all the way to the sun. Let's cover the sand with a film of water that we're going to fix later on. Let me add more foam here. It's looking cool. This foam is looking super cool. Super cool. And now let's draw kind of this transparent part of the wave when it bends and it shows the light from the sun beneath, okay? We're going to tint this with a touch of yellow, not much, but it's going to look cool, you'll see. A little bit of yellow right in this part beneath the shadow of the foam. Pretty nice. Pretty rough. See it too? Pretty gentle colors, but the movement of the waves is just exactly the opposite. Looks cool. Okay, these touches of yellows that I was telling you, it's going to give us the sensation that the sun is shining through this water. The same here and the same in the back, just a little bit more blurry, not that defined as in the foreground. Okay, some touches of yellow here, pretty cool. This works very nicely because these purples and yellow are complementary colors, okay? They kind of balance each other when you put them one next to each other. Okay, a little bit of more shadowing here. Remember, we are shaping the waves that we had there. And I'm adding the shadow beneath the foam to make it pop. This is on purpose, this darker color there to pop this frontal part of the wave toward us, okay? Looking cool. Okay. Let's darken this part. This part has to be darker because it's where it's supposed to be more amount of water gathered together. Okay, a little bit of touches of that yellow here around the sound. Now the sand part is looking kind of funny, but it's going to work. You are going to see. Let me make this wave a little bit bigger. And eventually we are going to add more shadowing back there to make it pop towards us again. Don't worry, we can change things as we go. We don't need to see with something that we don't like or that we think that should be different. Okay, looking pretty cool right now. But I kind of seeing the shape of another wave. We're going to see kind of, I'm seeing kind of the limit of a wave crashing here on the left, okay? Let's blur this part a little bit with our brush, pretty soft touch. Don't press that much, don't press that much. We're kind of neutralizing that yellow there. You can remember the purple is a complementary color, but that's giving us the sensation of wet sand, which is looking cool. Also is giving us a shade because the sun is not hitting that hard there. The water is covering that part. Let me darken this a little bit more. Be careful. You can use a big brush like this, but be careful where you land it and where you move it. You don't want to kill everything you have there, because some parts you might like them already, okay? Just careful. Let me darken this part a little bit so the foam pops towards us. Pretty cool. Yeah, shape the water. Let's show where this is going, where the water is going on the sand. Nice. Little touches here and there. Okay, a little bit more white. Let's whiten these waves. Defoam. I'm working defoam. Okay. Pretty cool. Pretty rainbowy. Little bit of foam breaking there. Let me darken this part of the waves because they're super shiny. And the sword light, the light source, is beneath the waves, so they are supposed to be a little bit darker. This is cool because it's going to pop the foam even more, okay? Remember to pull your brush in the direction of the water, in the direction of where the water is flowing. That's going to help you a lot. Killing two birds with one shot. Pretty nice. Just be careful, we don't need to kill all the lights here. We don't need to do that. Nice. It's coming nice. We're getting some greens shades, which are cool. On our wet sand. Let's pull these forms a little bit more dark here. This part, remember, this is to make the foam of the foreground pop a little bit more. Pretty nice. Work it little by little. You don't have to rush. A little bit of the shadow in here, just little touches. And the same back here. I'm darkening these shadows just a little bit, okay? Just a little bit. Reshape the foam if you lost it. Reshape it, you don't worry. You can go over it a little bit, but not that much. Remember, this foam is pretty white. Pretty white. We just had a little bit of a sunlight, a touch of sunlight of yellow. There, a pretty mild touch of that color. Looking cool, looking cool. Yeah, just little touches with the corner of the brush. Nice. Little bit of shadowing, giving shape to those parts of the foam, to those little breaks above the wave. A little bit of dotting here to kind of look like it's little drops bouncing all around the place. Going to darken here this part to kind of create a second wave in the back, a wave that is coming to crash all over this one in the front, okay? It's going to be easy. It's just adding a little bit of shadowing to show that. A little bit of shadowing. Okay, cool. We're going to give it that direction, the flow towards us, instead of kind of to the left, like the one in the foreground. Pretty nice, pretty nice. We're almost done, people. We are almost done here. 5:59. I'm just gonna grab my palette knife with titanium white and I'm going to draw these water lines here, okay? I'm having problems reaching that part because of the wood frame that I have there holding the canvas, so I'm probably going to change this for for my brush, for my fine liner, but you can do this with your palette knife. The palette knife is pretty cool because it gives us a wide variety of shapes with one pass. But yeah, it seems that I won't be able to make it with this. I'm going to change eventually for my fine liner. But you can already see how this water over the sand is taking shape, and it was pretty easy. Pretty easy. Just the lines makes things appear. Instant water. Okay. Put a bit of this, a little bit of foam forming there on the ground. The hair kind of blurry, kind of misty. Okay. I'm going to soften these dots a little bit with my front brush, okay? Kind of integrate them with the wave. You can go back and forth a number of times to get it the way you want, okay? Good. Creating this kind of transparency over the beach. I think I'm going to leave this yellow spot in the middle. Let's make it show. Okay, pretty cool. Water moving towards the sea to form that wave. Okay, people, let's add some more shines here with the palette knife. Pretty easy. Some cuts in the water, some cuts in that color back there. But remember, we need those colors between each line, okay? It's not just a flat wall of white. Okay, and I'm going to finish here, people, by adding these super thin lines, kind of watery shapes, kind of combs shapes, honeycombs. I hope you enjoy, people, this painting. Super easy, a lot of paint, a lot of colors. Please subscribe, share, and give it a like, and I'll see you on the next time.